Good morning. For those of you who haven't met me, my name is Elise Shepard, and I'm currently a physical therapy student down in Nashville. But I've been blessed to spend a lot of time at Rochester Church, and I'm very excited to get to talk to you this morning and tell you a little bit about myself. So I would start. I grew up at a conservative Church of Christ here in Michigan. No clapping. Women did not have any really visible roles in the church. Mostly you took care of small kids in the nursery, maybe did some Sunday school class, and put together funeral dinners. And it was not a very good place for an open dialogue on women's roles. It was women should be silent in the church, and that was that. So for me, when I graduated high school and went to Harding University, that was a really great time for me to kind of open up my faith and start to see different ways of approaching God and different ways of dealing with your faith and others' faith. And I never really found myself in the crosshairs of talking about women's roles, although I did have a wonderful humanities professor who talked about women's roles in the Wednesday night Bible study, talking about The Blue Parakeet by Scott McKnight. And even though I didn't place myself at the center of this and think about what if I was the one talking about this or in this role, it was always like some other woman would be doing that. It made me more comfortable with thinking and talking about how women's roles play out in the church. And it ended up being a really wonderful thing because his wife encouraged me to go to Uganda because she had missionary friends there after I graduated from Harding. And so that's what I did. And that just opened me up even more to the ways that God can use people here on earth. No matter what kind of background they come from. We had a Sunday night English speaking Bible study, and it had people from all over the place. Me from a Church of Christ in Michigan, from New Testament Church just in Texas, Anglicans, Protestants, Catholics from Austria, Australia, Lebanon, Britain, from all over the place. And even though we had such different church backgrounds and different doctrines, we had that time together to encourage one another and be a part of the family of God. And it was so wonderful, and I'm so grateful for it. And I got to lead devotional thoughts, and it wasn't a charged, gender role thing. Oh, it's a woman. It's no, I was a sister in Christ sharing the love of God with the family that I had there in Uganda. It was just beautiful. So then when I finished up in Uganda, it was a long 4 months. I was very grateful to come back to the wonderful people at Rochester. And after in Uganda, I really learned the importance of relationships, and that has stayed with me. And I'm so grateful for the relationships at Rochester, especially with Brian and Beth Bowers, who took a lot of time and invested it in me, and talked to me about women's roles and giving me some really wonderful opportunities within the church to kind of step out. I have been able to teach triad classes, which has just been wonderful. But because of the time and the affirmation that they gave me, I was able to do that. Because they showed me, again, within this relationship that we had, that one, that I had talents to teach and to speak and to share with other people, and that two, those things can be used in the church for the glory of God. And I'm just so thankful that it was done within that relationship that we already had, because it was really just so encouraging and affirming to me. And I also have had opportunity to lead communion thoughts with the Rochester Church, which again was just, I mean, I'm just so grateful that I get to speak to people and to share the love of God with the words and with the talents that God has given me. And it's just really great. I'm so excited just talking about it, and I'm grateful for this opportunity that even though I'm in Nashville right now, that I get to talk to you about how great has and influential this has been in my life. And you know what? I know that not all people are going to come down on this same part of the spectrum that I'm at on women's roles, and I think that's a part of what you guys are going to talk about today. But what I kind of learned in Uganda, as far as all these the importance of relationships go, is that even if I'm very different from someone, God can use both of us to achieve amazing things. And you know what? I might not choose to worship with you in the same way that you want to worship every Sunday. But for me, when I finish up grad school and I have a little more free time, I am going to be at a church home where they value my talents regardless of my gender, and that I will have an opportunity to encourage the people around me using the talents that God has given me, but still loving all of God's creation in the way that I do that. So thanks so much for listening. I'm really excited that you're talking about this. I hope you have a really good dialogue going on, and let me know how it goes. Thanks, guys.